the boss.
Oh, yeah.
Hey! Hi. Hello. Welcome to the Boss Podcast.
The Berlin Open Stage Show.
I'm Trevor Silverstein.
I'm Steindor Jonsson. And this time we're not really, I guess we're a podcast and a live stream.
Yeah, so this is kind of a multimedia experience that you get to have. So if you're watching this now live, congratulations. You won.
Yeah. You're the winner.
Someone out there. Or if you're listening at home.
Chicken dinner for you.
Yeah. If you're listening at home to a podcast or it's morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've won.
Absolutely. You can also, shut off the podcast, go find the video of this online, watch that, turn the podcast back on and have a full stereo experience with, cacophony of voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this is a podcast usually where we open up the stage at the Comedy Cafe Berlin to anyone who signs up for an hour-long podcast recording of whatever they wish.
Yes.
And we get all kinds of interesting characters, people from around town.
People from around town, major celebrities.
Yeah. But mostly people, but major celebrities who are also around town, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, sure.
Lots of people happen to be in Berlin.
And this time we have a repeat host. He's been a staple of the show.
Yeah, well, actually the first host we ever had, although it was not the first episode. It was unreleased, but that was sort of a test run, and so we owe a lot to
real
this
gem
person.
for any crate diggers out there that want to discover the secret.
Find the
Boss
Google
episode.
Drive folder that is shared between us and us alone, and you're the winner. Congrats! If you found that, you're the winner.
Chicken dinner. And this guy, I'm very excited to have him back. He's run into some problems. He's self-described disgraced podcaster.
That's right. Yeah.
No, sportscaster. Actually, I'm the disgraced podcaster, I guess.
Right. Same, I guess.
He's a disgraced sportscaster. I'm getting a heat stroke. And he's, but I don't think he's that bad. I mean, he has some weird opinions, but he's generally a good guy.
But I'm sure he's really excited that he's always excited to do the podcast, but I'm sure he's extremely excited to be live streaming and broadcasting to you all, especially to talk about a really exciting and huge sporting event.
Yeah, the UEFA Euro 2020 tournament coming up.
It's happening.
It's football, soccer.
It might be happening right now as you're listening to this, or it might have already happened.
Everybody is into football. If you're watching this, sound off in the comments of the live stream.
Yeah, just
what do you think about it?
Name your favorite squads,
your favorite
players,
football performers,
everybody.
All of it. Your favorite executive of UEFA or something.
Yeah, exactly. And talk about the finances of. I mean, the football's all about finances,
absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
This is very exciting because it's coming up. We're all gonna watch it. We're out and about in Berlin now. It's summer. It's people are outside.
Yeah, you may have noticed we've taken a bit of a hiatus. It's probably because we're so wrapped up in UEFA.
I've been preparing.
Sort of about a year and a half ago, I felt like the world changed because UEFA Euro 2020 was coming up.
Yeah, and then they delayed it for a year, so we're all in kind of suspended animation.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. This is great. So without further ado, we have Court Masters with the show The Pitch, UEFA Euro 2020.
Great.
Okay, we got it?
If it was recording, we got it.
Hang on. Yeah, this looks okay.
This was good. That was funny. The stage is set, but the actors are not in the theater because there is no theater. Because this is not a play. This is the UEFA Euro 2020, the biggest show on earth, the ultimate prize for the sport of football and the ultimate prize for the football people around the world. Welcome to The Pitch, UEFA Euro 2020 extravaganza. Good evening, audience. We're coming to you live from the Comedy Cafe Berlin in Berlin, Germany. I'm your host, Court Masters. And tonight I am joined by an esteemed guest expert panel to discuss the ins and outs of the UEFA Euro 2020. As most of you loyal fans know, I, Court Masters, am an esteemed sports telecaster with credits that include ESPN, NBCSN, AFGMN, and of course the Raw Water Sports Network. Now, I'm not at liberty to discuss the current or past nature of my employment with these networks. Currently, I'm an independent broadcaster, biding my time and legal manpower to reclaim my career. Against the better judgment of my legal counsel, I will say this. I was fired under fraudulent circumstances. Switch to camera 1, please. Now I'm not at liberty. It's a bit far away. Now I'm not at liberty to discuss the current or past nature of my employment with these networks. Currently, I'm an independent broadcaster. I already said this sentence, didn't I? I did not. I will say this. I was fired under fraudulent circumstances. I did not say that it is possible that the earth might be flat. I said that it is flat, and that I know this to be true with ample supply of fact. And I hope upon final presentation of my evidence to the courts of federal jurisdiction, I'll be back at the anchor desk soon. All right, we can switch back over to those cameras. And should I never find myself back on the international television with the blinking red lights of high-definition broadcast cameras beaming me out across the globe, I guess that this monologue's a bit old because I wasn't broadcasting on video before this, but here we are. There's only one place left for me to go, and that's to space. Or should I clarify to what society collectively refers to as space, which is really just a projection of stellar imagery only several thousand meters above the Earth's uncurved surface. But alas, that's not why we're gathered here today or listening on your mobile devices. We are here to talk football, and football talk we will. Goals, fouls, substitutions, yellow cards, red cards, and more. Audience, the world needs sports, and the world needs court masters. Also, the world is flat. Joining me to provide all the thrilling coverage and analysis of football's magnum opus is Babs Baudelaire.
Hello.
Kimmy Sampson.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And Ricardo Mirabile. Thank you for joining us.
Buonasera.
Well, welcome to the pitch. Let's get right into it. Everyone, I can tell everyone's excited. We're here in the studio and we're talking UEFA Euro 2020. Babs, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm very much delighted to be here, of course, representing Daz Laundry Detergent, official sponsors of the UEFA Euro Championships. And I'm just very looking forward to those boys going out and getting muddy and us taking care of the dirty work.
Absolutely. That sounds like a very important job, and we are very happy to have you as a sponsor. So thank you.
Thank you.
We'll come back to you for more Babs. Kimmy Sampson in the house.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kimmy Sampson. I am a positivity coach. Court and I, we go way back. We went to high school together, and we just happened to run into each other at the supermarket. That's kind of funny, isn't that how that happened? And he invited me to join on this show, and I'm really looking forward to talking the ball.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you here. It's just makes me feel like I'm back at home.
Yeah.
Ricardo Mirabile, welcome to the pitch.
Grazie. It's me, Riccardo Mirabile, Italian disco DJ and host of the radio show Disco Fantastic Hour. I'm so happy to be here. Usually I host my own show. I play some tunes. I have a little bit of a party, but now I'm guesting somewhere else. So I feel like I should be DJing, but I'm not. I did bring some records because I'm a little bit of a disco wizard. The name of this record,
wow.
Beautiful.
Oh, isn't that
beautiful planet on this
Ah.
side. Yeah, it's very cool. So
That's really
maybe I'll
nice.
show you some records. Because
Plattenspiel, isn't that what they call it, right?
I wouldn't know. It's not my language. My
Okay.
language is Italian.
Very good, very good. Well, let's get into UEFA Euro 2020. Michelle, could you pull up? I've got a couple of things I want to talk all about football because it's very exciting. You probably are wondering, UEFA Euro 2020. Wait a minute, it's the year 2021, right?
2020.
Isn't that funny? 2020, yes. Because this year's UEFA is a continuation of the canceled one, so we are still using the name UEFA Euro 2020. It might sound a little weird, right? Like, makes you kind of question what's going on in the world. And I'm a bit of a questioner. As I said in my monologue, I don't like to go along with the belief that the Earth is round, as everyone says it is. So,
Well, and I remember in geography class, actually, with Mr. Reynolds, that you indeed did believe that the Earth was round. It was one of the basic.
it was sort of propaganda that I was fed at that time, and digging up the past, Kitty. Mr. Reynolds.
I'm just
back in the
saying.
day.
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds. Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to talk. Bring that logo back up. I'm going to be asking you to do that quite often. Look at this beautiful logo they've got here. UEFA Euro 2020.
Bella.
I almost feel like they're trying to reset the past. If you know what I mean. Maybe that's the whole great reset is what this is all about. bringing us back to 2020. If you notice the bridge, and we've got the thing right in the middle, the cup, the UEFA Cup is what it's called, I believe.
I call it a laundry basket. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I could see how you would get to there. And then they've got this imagery that they loved at the bridge this year. So they're bridging the past. So the Great Reset is the bridge. So that's what the theme is all. We're sort of bringing in two alternate realities actually with this UEFA World Cup. Maybe you could bring up the slogan there. The slogan. So interestingly enough, live it for real, right? Sort of look.
I like it. It's really positive.
It's very positive.
Yeah, it's telling you to assert. It's telling you to assert yourself. Yeah, you're living it. It's your lived experience and your reality, and you're doing it in a real way. You're doing it in a way that's tangible and that you can really, really just evolve out of.
Now that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
What I like to see is that we actually live in a sound stage. And so our whole life is a fabrication, everything. The sun is a giant light that just swings around. You can pull the slogan thing off now, Michelle. Thank you. Just because we want people to see our beautiful faces while we do this. There's a light. So like you see my arm, the sun is a light that swings around on a boom arm around the sky. So basically what the slogan of the UEFA Euro 20 is trying to say is that this time we're going to live it for real. We're finally going to emerge from the darkness that we've been in the tunnels, so to speak. We've been in the darkness, and now we're going to understand that the world is fine.
That's very interesting. And then we will have what we like to call Dolce Vita, the good life.
The good life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So these are some of the things that I'm excited about. And where should we start? Who wants to talk about what first in terms of the UEFA Euro 2020?
Well, I just wanted to, if I may, point out what a beautiful, beautiful thing it is for all of these nations on our beautiful planet Earth, whether or not you believe it's flat or it's round,
very, very beautiful, like a landscape painting, just completely
just
two-dimensional.
A crispy disc, or whatever you believe, and those things can change. Like I said in the past, you once, grade A student and in geography.
Still very smart.
It's a beautiful thing to see all of these nations coming together and playing with such good sportsmanship against each other.
The best.
Yeah. So it's not really it's an against and a with. It's a with and against, because if they weren't playing with each other to play against each other, then there would be no World Cup. There would be no togetherness.
It's very true. Yeah. And I think we see it too when all the players are on the field, it's like a rainbow, and all the uniforms and the kits, and they're all different colors. And our laundry detergent actually does very well on the color test, which consumer rights organization actually launched us as number one in the UK.
Congratulations.
And formerly in Europe for dealing with all the colors of the rainbow. So I would have to second that.
Yeah.
Second that, Kimmy.
Now, that must be a lot of laundry detergent that you're using.
Oh, it is. Yes. Actually, fun fact, that every year, the UK Euros Championship actually goes through 3,000 tons of DAS detergent.
3,000 tons.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Not just getting the kits clean,
tons.
but also remarkably soft, because, it's very hard. There's been studies, I'm sure, that show it's very difficult to focus on the game and getting the ball in the places that it needs to be if you've got like an itchy jersey.
I admire the work you do.
Thank
I
you.
really do admire the work
you.
you do. You are really doing something good for those players out there and making sure that they're comfortable on the field.
But I read somewhere that you were petitioning the UEFA to get the players more to, tackle and be in the dirt so that jerseys get dirty, and so they need more watching repeatedly.
Well, it's true. And I think it's not just the fact that it then, allows us to demonstrate just how effective DAS laundry detergent actually is. I think for the viewer, it's more fun and it's more homoerotic.
Absolutely. And then you have these laundry machines on the side, washing machines on the side of the pitch, and these dryers, and you see the players take them off, put them in, and set the timer.
Wow.
And then they take them out again, they're ready
And
to go
they're
back in.
soaking wet and they put them back on, and it's wonderful.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because it's cooling
Self-sufficient.
as well. Cooling to have a cold,
It is.
wet
Moisture wicking.
jersey.
Soapy.
Very.
Very soapy. And it has been bothering a lot of players in the eyes. The goalkeepers have had trouble.
I've heard
defending
a
and-
little bit of feedback that it is maybe too soapy, but I think that the extra lathering in the formula, really, it's much better.
And what is in the formula?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't tell you that now. It's a top secret, been in the family for a long, long time, and I don't want to talk about where we got it because,
Is it true
let's keep things nice and light.
Is it true what has been put forward in a class action suit against you, that it is...
I'm sorry, I can't
it's
hear
a
you.
class action suit that says this is the old Teflon that they threw away after the whole scandal.
Suit. It is very nice with suits. We actually, forget the dry cleaning. Yes, suits. Suits is another thing where we shine.
Okay, that is is a synonym. No, not a synonym. It's a sound homophone. Homophone suit. It's a class action suit and then a nice Italian business attire suit,
Yes, a nice Italian business suit.
Well, I'll tell you, if there's Teflon in it, I'm glad to see Teflon back. I think they went through a rough PR stint for a while, and I think that it wasn't very fair. I think what was that movie? Dark Waters came out. A smear piece, as far as I'm concerned.
Mark Ruffalo is a terrible man for being in that movie.
No, Mark
Trying to
Ruffalo, all
smear-
he's trying to do is smear. He's smearing the Catholic Church. He's smearing
The whole-
DuPont, and he's smearing. What's next?
He smears everything, this guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say he's more of a Mark Buffalo because he's bothering people.
That's good. I like that.
Very good.
Mark Buffalo.
Now, Ricardo,
course.
you must be very thrilled. Italy, of course, is in the UEFA, and there's not only that.
Italy.
Rome is one of the host cities. Let's pull up the map of the host cities we have here. Very exciting. As you can see, we have Rome, we have Budapest, we have Bilbao.
Very large Iceland.
Yes, very large Iceland, but no stadium. No reason to have it there. We've got Glasgow, Dublin, London, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, St. Petersburg, Baku, and Munich. Very exciting. Lots to interpret there. These are apparently cultural centers according to the biodome type atmosphere that we live in. And I think the selection process there is an interesting one, but we can get more into that. But Rome, exciting.
Rome,
And
of
Michelle,
course, in Rome from my home country of Italy. I, of course, am not from there. I am from the small town called Ristorante. And it's a beautiful little town where my mama lives, but I miss her so much. And but I am a big fan, of course, of sports. I don't know if the camera might be too far away, but it's Huey Lewis. And I am, of course, a big fan of sports, and a good game of sports can be something like a chess match. The two teams trying to make the right move at any given moment. And, watching these sport teams, the great Italian players, those current Italian players that I like Roberto Baggio and Salvatore Silazzi and Paolo Maldini, all these great current Italian players. I love them so much, and they are making my country proud. I could say that I like men, all the men in the team are all my favorite players, So that is, my picks of the tunes that you put on for the first Italian game. Listen to these records that I showed you.
Now, wouldn't that be amazing if they turned these into music events as well?
I would love that. I could be on the sideline DJing, trying to overpower the sound of the washing machine spinning constantly. I think that could be a good party thing, and maybe make the players, a little looser in the hips, so when they, make these tackles and they don't injure themselves.
And is it true that Ristorante was eligible for being one of the host cities at a certain point?
That's true. In Ristorante, we tried to get to be a host city. It's very difficult because our town is just one building, but it has a very ample kitchen with
What
a
is
big pizza oven.
the number of seating?
The number
What's
of
the
seating,
seating?
it's been cut down a little bit in Corona times because you
okay.
can't stand up without a mask, which is also a problem when you're supposed to be running around and shooting at a goal. So it's a little bit difficult, but unfortunately we weren't successful. I was very surprised that our neighboring town of Stadium didn't get the host city, but Rome, I guess, is good city.
Has
It's a
No,
very
it's-
historical one.
Very
It's a very
historical,
historical
yes.
city.
Yeah.
Good
Big
stains.
Catholic. Of course, I'm a Catholic. I believe in the Catholic Christ. I believe the prophecy of Father Tullio, my former priest, that I have the spirit of the Antichrist within my soul and to leap forward at any moment,
Oh,
bringing
Lord.
forward the Armageddon. This is something we do not have to go into. It's other episodes that you can listen to of the boss, which further explain this whole thing. But Rome, of course, Catholic city. How can I be against that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned history, Kimmy. We loved history class.
Indeed.
It was really just a blast all the time. And
Yeah.
and it's so amazing to see, you now and you just this positivity. Tell us more about the positivity coaching.
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing. I was actually struggling a lot with my own positivity, which is what brought me to the positivity training. In 2009, I was forced by my ex-husband. I was already married at that point and divorced, and things weren't looking so great for me. And I was forced by him. He threatened to take my son away, to go to a positivity training course. It was just a weekend course in the beautiful British countryside in Norwich, just around Norwich, just outside of Norwich. Anyone is familiar? And it was kind of prison-like, I have to say. But they did.
Sounds beautiful.
But on the whole, but that's it. Stuck behind those bars. It was fed gruel. We were fed gruel. Like it gives you a lot of time to think about what matters to you in life. And I came out of there after 2 days, and I said, I need to turn my life around.
Wow.
2 days of eating gruel and
2 days of eating gruel behind
Yeah,
bars.
bars.
Was that St. Finian's by
Outside
any
of Norwich.
chance?
it's a first
Was
world
that
problem.
St. Finian's in Norwich?
You know it.
I think we have a contract there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why our shirts were so nice.
That's right.
They were really crisp.
yeah.
I had no. Oh, how about that?
And then also, I mean, I suppose if you're only there for 2 days, but if you're in the institution longer, you also can have the opportunity to help manufacture Daz laundry detergent too. Yeah, it's
that's
nice.
amazing. Yeah, I was always, it was actually quite quite a dirty place, but I always wondered why those shirts were looking so fresh
And smelling
There
so
you go.
fresh.
But that must have been a great end of the day. You have a bowl of gruel and you throw on a sopping, soapy, wet shirt.
Yeah,
Must have been really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just rubbing the layers of
Oh, lovely.
the filth off. Yeah, and so that's what started my whole. It was a complete perspective shift, a
I can
complete
imagine.
worldview
Yeah.
shift. And since then, my motto's been think positive.
Wow, you came up with that yourself?
Yeah. I even have it, if you look at my shirt here, it's just printed really large on my shirt.
Wow, it's in
I had these
Really
t-shirts.
large. Yeah.
very
Can
black.
we make sure we get that on
Was it-
camera, actually?
We
Just,
just-
really, look at that. It says be
I
positive.
don't know if the
Positive.
lighting
Yes,
is
it is.
showing it.
Think positive.
Think positive.
Amazing.
I had these ones printed just around the corner from my house, actually. I know
Amazing.
a guy.
Wow.
Yeah. And since then, after that, I decided it would be. I wanted to give this back without the gruel and without the locking people up behind bars, of course. I wanted to give this back to the people that I know and maybe also people that I don't know. I mean, it is a job and I'm getting paid for this. I have a website, www.kimmysamsonthinkpositive.com. I also have this .co.uk because I did, make some friends while I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're not all bad.
Yeah.
So when you are consumed with negative thoughts, like I sometimes am when I think about the impending Armageddon that I will bring forth, what do you do in that situation? Can you give us a little bit of a taste?
Of course. So there's a technique that you can apply when you're, consumed by these negative thoughts. It's called, the acronym MAPS, MAPS.
MAPS.
Yeah.
And what does that stand
It
for?
means the M stands for make.
America,
No, of course not.
peaceful
It's-
sometimes.
Peaceful sometimes.
There-
I love that.
That would be a great goal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's make, always, personality, spicy.
Wow.
Make always.
Make always personality.
Spicy
spice.
personality.
Yeah,
Wow.
personality
Wow.
spice.
I would
That's
have
what's good with
assumed
it.
that the P was positive.
No, no.
Personality
very
is
misleading.
Spicy.
But I love it.
Yeah.
While we're talking about acronyms, UEFA is an acronym, of course,
Yeah.
and it's Union of European Football Associations. I actually think it stands for something different. If you can pull up the bottom one there, the UEFA, I actually think it's Under Earth Find Answers.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what I always say. This is a huge drop for people in the court community. Yes, we are looking under Earth is where we're going to find all the answers to the question of the flat.
In the core of the Earth?
Underneath on the underside, as you can see from that image.
Oh, because it's flat.
But
That's
this is
right.
very-
Exactly.
That's right. That's your.
Very interesting because, the international association is FIFA, FIFA,
Yes.
and that is find information
For-
from altitude lower, below the
That's
earth.
right. We talked about, we've had plenty of online conversations. FIFA stands for Find Information from Altitude. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yes.
brackets lower.
Yes.
It doesn't count into the acronym.
Yes.
The
So that's the only
lower.
way we know if we get from higher or lower perspectives, I think, actually. And while we're talking about this too, actually, can you pull up that image of the Munich Stadium there? This is one of my favorite things. Look at this. This is the Allianz Arena, right? Kind of an interesting design, I think. Maybe something coded in there. Kind of looks like the space-time continuum, right?
Well, I was going to say it actually looks like new Daz pods, not to be eaten.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been eating them. Is that not true?
It's true. Well, they are
There's-
tasty.
There is a TikTok challenge to
There
eat
is,
these pods.
which some people have said I've engineered just to get our brand, trending and all over the media. And I would just like to say that that's not true.
But there was a report that Cambridge Analytica had been involved in this, and Steve Bannon personally had tried to get people to eat these
Well,
pods.
he swallowed the first one by accident because
That's why he looks
He'll eat
away.
anything in sight, this guy.
can't leave him alone in the cupboard. But
Should we go around and talk about a favorite Steve Bannon memory, anyone?
Well, of course, we were all at the Capitol. So
Oh, right.
yeah,
yeah.
of course,
No,
ran
talk
into
to
him
me.
at that point.
I
I was
agree.
playing music. I had been hired by some person, some Watkins father-son duo to play disco
Not
music.
the famous Ron and Jim Watkins. You were
Oh, Jim and Ron, yes, of
Yeah,
course. I met them.
really?
Yeah, they told me come there, play some tunes. It's going to be a big party. I didn't know what it was about, and then I see everything's happening there. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
well, we obviously had a successful campaign last year for the detergent, and it's the right stuff for your white stuff, and that just really took us places we didn't expect to go. But I'm not complaining. It worked
Yes,
out.
and of course, Ellie Kemper was the face of this campaign
She
for you.
was. Yeah,
Kimmy Schmidt, your namesake, Kimmy Schmidt.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Your
Yeah.
namesake.
we got a
exactly.
good contract with some organization in the US where they have lots of cloaks and things that needed handling, and we got them dazzling, I have to say.
What organization was this that had lots of cloaks?
The KKK. That was it. That was it.
Right.
Of course, KKK also stands for something about how there are answers underneath the earth, But it is in their secret language, so we don't know.
Anyway, UEFA Euro 2020
Football.
football. Now, Kimmy, what teams might you be rooting for?
Well, I'm rooting for all the teams, if I'm going to be honest, because I think everyone deserves to win.
Aren't you lovely?
And that is
Yeah.
great. You have been wanting to bring positivity to football. Is that not true?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not something that's been publicly announced yet, but I guess this is the opportunity to announce it.
Exclusive.
I have been hired by the UEFA to be a positivity coach for the players. So you're going to see me.
Wow.
You're going to see me up there as soon as this game start. Next to the coaches, you'll see me next to the wonderful England coach who's originally from Germany, Mr. Jurgen Klopp.
Yep.
Mr. Jurgen Klopp.
Mr. Jurgen.
That's what we call it.
Mr. Jurgen Klopp. I'm going to be standing right next to him in his shadow, and I am going to be cheering them on.
That is incredible.
Yeah. And when they are pulled to the side because something's not working, I'm going to be in that huddle with those guys, giving them positive feedback.
And so, what are some things you might say in those situations? Because I know what I would probably tell these guys to to get their heads screwed on straight because there's a lot of things that they probably don't realize just in terms of physics that would actually affect their play. They're kind of operating that, that the Earth is actually a curved surface. And so therefore the size of a field, of course, appears to be flat, but there's certain momentum and stuff like that. If they knew that the Earth was as flat as that pitch, they would the things they'd be capable of are just extraordinary.
Yeah, well, I don't go into this direction of kind of positivity coaching.
You can throw it in every now and then.
Everybody, humans are negatively motivated. And so what I like to do is switch it up and throw in a little compliment. Like, you missed that goal.
These football players, they don't get enough compliments.
Yeah, you missed that goal, but I really like the way that you went into that with great fervor and energy. And the ball didn't go in, but you're a great person.
And you always ask for a timeout to make the speech to the player. You say, everybody stop playing.
Of course, there are emergency moments.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency moments. I actually have a special card. I just brought it with me. It's a purple.
Yeah, can we get a close up of this card?
Yeah, this is purple. Great that we have video for this. This is perfect.
It's a purple card.
Exactly what we would think.
It's purple. Is this one right here?
Just show the card.
Yeah. So that's
it's out of frame at this point.
Yeah.
There's the purple card. It's just a card. It's purple. It's purple. So. And that's for when if I notice a player, because sometimes that's also you're so in the game and you're so deep into that negativity that you don't even realize that it's happening to you, and there needs to be someone else on the outside making the call and saying, hey, we need some positive feedback for this guy right now. Absolutely. It's a purple card.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there is, of course, you can't really do timeouts in football. You have to fake injury to, kind of slow down the game. So, in order for this, you have been asking the players to roll around, fake injuries while you run onto the pitch and you say, you have to take a look at this card and, be positive.
Yeah, you asking me if I'm
is
sorry, was this a statement or a question?
I mean, I always say that, questions are thieves and statements are a gift. That's something I always say. Yes, it's some part of my philosophy. I don't know. Yeah,
well, I try to stay away from the whole faking the injury thing, just because that carries a lot of
course,
let's say like a lot of baggage with it. Anyway, and that can really disrupt a game. I'm really not there to disrupt the game, but I'm there to support each and every one of the players because they're magnificent. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. Yeah. That's
beautiful.
Why,
I think a lot of these players suffer from low self-esteem. They don't get enough positive reinforcement. They are not beloved. They don't get the interest of the opposite sex. There is nothing really for them out there.
It's hard being famous.
I blame Tide. I really do. I think a lot of people just, they underestimate what a difference it makes when you just give that a little bit extra care to your presentation and to how you look after your clothes. And I think that they're not focusing on that enough. I think it really could do wonders for the confidence and the performance of the teams.
Now, perhaps I wanted to ask, do you use the detergents?
Of course, yes, absolutely.
I'm sure, you must, right? Yeah, so
of course.
So can you give us just a little bit more of the background on this company? Because I think that you mentioned before that these detergents, there's a secret sauce.
Well, a secret sauce, that's right. I mean, it's been in my family for a long time, and my daddy and my great-granddaddy and my great-great-granddaddy, and they would go off traveling the world, coming across all sorts of wonderful ingredients that other places have thought of, and they borrowed them. And I don't know, great-great-granddaddy doesn't like to talk too much about it, because
he's still alive. He's still with us. Oh, I'm sorry.
But when he was with us, he was always very precious about his time traveling the seas and all the death and everything.
Oh,
so
God,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have it under lock and key, and I do sleep with the recipe, the original recipe. I have it.
Are people fighting and clamoring over this recipe?
Yes, they are.
Really?
Believe it or not, absolutely. I mean, it's quite a sought after. I think it's Coca-Cola, it's Big Mac sauce, and then it's us
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, difficult because, two people who know the recipe can't be in the same place at the same time, right?
That's right. That's right. I've been estranged from my family for since I was about 7, 8. Yeah.
They cut you
I
off
would-
at that point.
Yeah, and
I
I've
was just going to ask if you're sleeping with the recipe there. I presume there's no one else.
No, nobody else.
in
Just
that
me and my
space.
clean, soft sheets.
That is a
so you-
beautiful thought.
yeah.
Sleeping alone in your soft seats.
Yeah. So you were the sole owner of the company then. If you carry the recipe around, you've been estranged from your family. Then you are.
That's right. I mean, there are still funds tied up in the family accounts, but I mean, I could burn the recipe at any point. I could give it to somebody. I have people at Tide that I know, and I could talk to them. So don't disrespect me.
No one will. And respect is the name of the game at UEFA, I think. Lots of respect. Everyone's got to respect each other because we've been through such a hard time in the past, year and a half.
It's a really
years.
positive thing that you just said.
It really is.
It is.
And we have to respect each other mostly because everyone has differences of opinions. And, a lot of life has gone online. Let's just be honest. A lot of life has gone online these days. And a lot of people communicate online exclusively. And I communicate online a lot. And I've got a lot of different, things, and I've been reading a lot. And if we can actually pull up, I just wanted to the last image there. This apparently is photographic evidence of what the Earth looks like in terms of the pizza crust theory.
This is a photograph.
This is, I believe. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, it must be a photograph, right? That's a plane, clearly. That's a car. It's a ship. And
It's a very big car, I have to say.
It reminds me a lot of clip art images from like the late 1990s.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, so a lot to think about. So thank you, Michelle. That's a lot to think about. And that's someone sent me that online and it has become a good friend. So thank you, Vector Stock, for sending that to me.
Well, that is a very interesting thought, I must say. I've traveled all over Italy, of course, in my time. I've been to towns like University, is a very good town. I did not find any evidence of this when I went there.
No, because you're traveling on a very local level, I guess, at that point.
That's true, but I did go to the town Bath Salts, and a lot of people were saying similar things that you were saying.
Really?
Yes, a lot of people in Bath Salts.
And that's on the Riviera, I guess.
Oh, it's a beautiful place. It's very frothy.
Yes. Probably.
We do have a few factories, yeah.
Oh,
Always
yes.
getting in trouble for polluting. And I'm like, it's not polluting if it's soapy, it's beautiful.
And do you produce bath salts as
We
well?
do produce bath sauce as well. Just a little side business.
Then,
wow.
so that is what they call como se dice, legal high.
Yes,
of
that's
course,
right.
So a lot of people are interested in this.
Yeah, we found, this generation, like the millennials and the Zoomers, like as they're getting into their 30s, they're not really doing laundry, but they are doing a lot of drugs. So it just has been a natural progression of the business.
And how do you? Yeah. So how do you can't change people's minds? I guess it's
I think the problem is that these millennials are eating too many avocado toast to buy a washing machine.
Probably that's true. Yeah. It's one of these. There's the Schrodinger's millennial. Are you familiar with this concept? Where they have too much money. They have too little money. Too much money. Too little. Which is it, millennials? Anyway, UEFA Euro 2020. There's a lot of exciting games that are going to happen. I'm sure a lot of people have this. What's a game? What's your favorite part of the football game? I mean, there's so many great parts of
My
football.
favorite thing about game is, you have to hit, a second beat and a third beat. That's the most important thing to me.
Yes.
Absolutely. Exactly. And, tie it all together with a nice callback, and that's what, sometimes there's a penalty kick competition, and that is the most climactic part of the game to me.
Exactly.
Yes. And then you can see these great Dino Baccio, Luca Toni, these great current Italian players, just really showing their talents on the pitch.
I love that. That's a great answer. And Kimmy, what about you? What's your favorite part of the game?
Favorite part of the game is, besides the huddles where everyone has their arms wrapped around each other.
Yes, you mentioned those.
Yeah. It's hard to say. Like I see the whole game as a beautiful interplay. The whole game itself. I don't know if that's a real answer, but I like to take a holistic view of it all, so maybe it's not, what is a penalty kick if not just a tiny part of the greater whole that is the entire game or the entire championship, because it is an ecosystem that is supporting itself through its individual parts. And so you can't view those things separately. So I have to say, yeah, just the whole game.
It's very difficult to even think of a penalty kick as something important when you know that the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are just around the corner, ready to plow over the earth with the lake of fire and, como se dice, trombones.
Exactly, and this is something I think about all the time as well. An apocalypse, right? I mean, sometimes I feel like that we're on the edge of one, and that's another thing that sticks out to me with the imagery. If you could just pull up the do I have I pulled up the St. Petersburg one. Is that the one I'm thinking of? No, that's not it. I'll pull up the London one there. Maybe I didn't pull it up, but they have these pictures of the bridges. That's the whole theme, the bridges. So there's the London Bridge here. Connecting
across borders, connecting
Tower
across
Bridge,
cultures.
That's the what?
It's Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge, exactly. That's the one I was thinking of. That's what I said. And but they had it. I thought I pulled up an image of it, but I guess I didn't. But they have the one of Munich, and there's a horseman on the bridge. Don't know what the bridge is, but it's in Munich, and it has a horseman on it. And I was thinking, this seems like they're trying to send us a message. They're focusing so much on these bridges, and I really think that when the UEFA finals have begun, when the championship game is going, we're going to bridge between a reality that was broken when the COVID-19 pandemic began. We separated reality. We have a whole other reality out there, and so we need to connect to that. And I don't know if anyone. I've been watching just relentlessly the movie Tenet. Has anyone been watching?
No.
Anyone seen this? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So then if you're not familiar, but that's what we're facing, that kind of a situation. Where we're gonna be.
Does that make you scared?
Just make me scared?
Yeah, I just wanted. Sorry, I meant to keep this out of the not live on the camera, but in our private sessions. But I was just wondering if that's something that makes you scared.
No. I think it's gonna be great, because I think it's gonna finally, like the slogan said, live it for real. We're finally gonna everyone's gonna acknowledge that we have an alternate person version of us out there that's in the year 2020, that's trying to get to the year 2021, and they're moving forwards faster in time, because that's how the bridge is going to work, because they're moving really fast through time, but somehow they're behind us, and so we're moving at like the pace that we've moved.
I really admire that. I really admire that you have such a positive take on this whole situation.
Thank you.
One could say, like an apocalyptic scenario for a horseman. My goodness, that's quite frightening.
Yeah,
absolutely. If I was you, I would be more afraid of this como se dice, temporal pincer movement that you talk about.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't think I said it exactly, but that's exactly right. Weird that you haven't seen the movie Tenet, but
No, I have not seen it. I don't know what it is.
Exactly.
But I am excited to it's summer again. You have
beautiful out.
Beautiful. It's actually it's summer. If
Donna summer.
It's Donna summer, and it's really getting out there. It's too hot to handle. It's heat wave. And I hope that the players will be comfortable in their, colder jerseys if they are drenched in your.
Sure. I mean,
water.
that's actually my favorite part of the games. The locker room when they've come back and they're stripping off their kits, and we've got grass stains, we've got mud, we've got sweat. Might have a bit of blood, and they can just leave it safe in the knowledge that Daz is going to take care of it.
And I have heard, rumor has it, you guys are unveiling a new ad campaign.
We might be.
This is really exciting. Can you talk at all about the ad campaign you guys? I've seen it. I've seen the sneak peeks.
Well, I mean, I think you'll all agree that, it's the beautiful game, right? There's so much wonderful things to be said about UK Fair. But the one thing that I think as a championship we're missing is mascots.
Yes.
It's something that the Yanks have done, pretty well with their gritties and the like. And we're actually going to be launching the UK Fair's first what was I say? Not a motto.
Mascot.
Mascot, that's it. Yeah, and it's going to be called Dazzo.
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 So,
And
And what is it? And it's a. I presume it's a box
Pile
full
of laundry.
Oh, it's a pile of laundry.
Pile
I
of
thought it was going to be the
laundry.
detergent. I thought it was going to be the detergent.
He's going to be medium. He's going to be a bit dirty, a bit clean.
Just to show that transition, that bridge. between
Exactly.
the
And then on
realities.
one half of the stadium, we're going to give all the crowd loads of shit. And they can just throw that. He's going to run past. He'll be like, "Oh no!" And they'll be
fun.
throwing
That's
the shit
fun.
at him, you know,
I love
bananas
that.
and mustard and everything. And then the other half of the stadium, he's going to do a little loop, and we're going to have a big hose, and they're going to throw on, Daz on him. Now they'll have to wear protective gloves because it does burn, but they're just going to throw it. And so by the time he comes around, he's going to be dazzling new again.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really. I really admire how you are going to involve the crowd in that sort of
Thank
way
you.
to make football not only just something to watch and be entertained by, but to
Be part
be a
of
part
it.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
nothing brings a
thank you.
community together like
Throwing shit at
killing
something.
someone,
Yeah.
through
yeah.
excess use of the laundry detergent. I mean, that is a beautiful thing. You know.
My second motto, just mentioning that, killing someone.
Is
My
another
second
acronym?
motto, it's a yes, and it stands for. I'll tell you what it stands for.
Tell us
first.
what it stands for first.
Don't spoil
Let's
it.
see if we can guess the
Yeah.
acronym. Yeah.
It's so the you want to hear the acronym first?
Yeah.
Okay, so the acronym is the acronym starts with the letter T.
Great.
It's a T and then it's A.
TA.
It's DNA.
T A.
TNA.
And then we have the next letter, which is an S, and then an L.
L.
Yeah.
Tassel.
Yeah, it's like tassel. Yeah, it does sound like tassel. It is. See, now I've forgotten what it was. Because I was distracted. Oh, no, it was think tassel. T-A. Sorry, these letters. There's so many acronyms in the positivity business. It's think always. Always is always the second
Right.
letter. Like maps. It's always. I know it's the wrong adverb placement, but it's just become
But
a thing.
It just works.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. Think always. Spicy.
And the L.
Love.
Think always spicy.
Think
Come
always
on.
spicy love. That's
Right.
beautiful.
Think
Sorry,
always
second motto.
spicy. Lol.
Yes.
Oh, spicy love.
Think always spicy love.
You know,
It's
I
better
thought-
than actually. That's better than the make always positive spicy. Positive.
I thought
It's
it
just
would
one of
be,
the other
try altitude submerged under lava.
Yes, this is a good one too.
Yeah. Actually, what I wanted to say was, so that's there's a third motto. So the third
It's a
motto
third
is,
acronym.
which relates to your mentioning the killing of people. There's always something positive in everything, which is
TASP. Yeah.
Absolutely. That was the sign that you had at the Capitol. It was there's
Yeah.
always something
TASP.
positive.
TASP. Everyone thought it was a French word.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah.
I always like to say with
It's an acronym.
tassel is the airplanes seem to be lying. That's what I always.
That's
say.
one way of looking. That's
Yeah.
one. That's one way.
Yeah,
of,
just I
of
admire
interpreting
you.
that.
I admire you so much, Kurt, and your
Thank you.
dedication in finding the truth about this
Yes.
flat Earth. You are
Yes.
kind of like Mark Ruffalo in Zodiac, you know,
Yes, exactly.
trying to find out who the Zodiac killer
Yeah.
is, of course.
Or Spotlight. That's another one.
Of course, always trying to
Yeah.
figure something out.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out why am I the Hulk? You know,
Yes, exactly.
why is this happening to me?
That's exactly that is the journey I think he's on when he's the Hulk. He's always just, why am I the Hulk? Right? Like, why me?
I mean, you have to ask yourself this question. You know, why does this keep happening? to me?
Who hasn't asked themselves that question in their
Absolutely.
life?
I keep asking myself, why am I the one who has to bring forth the apocalypse? Why can't somebody else do it? Why is it on me, Ricardo Mirable, a fun-loving guy who just likes disco music, to be the reason that the Catholic Christ comes back and judges the living and the dead and brings some people up to heaven and sends others down to the fiery pits of hell? Why does it have to be me?
You know what I would say to that?
I don't.
What I'd say to that is the following.
It's an acronym again, or no?
It's not an acronym
Okay.
this time. It just sounded like it did sound like I was going to turn into an acronym. No, you can think of it as an honor.
Wow.
You can think of it as an honor that you are the one who gets to present this to the world. Like that's a big thing. You could say that's a big achievement. Like once it happens, or as it's happening, it's a so just to reframe that, instead of making yourself the why do I have to bear this burden? Why do I have to carry this weight? But to say I get to do this amazing thing that only I get to do and no
That's
one
true.
else.
No one else gets to do this. It is I who is the Antichrist, eventually.
It's true.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing.
of course. I never thought about it like that. Even my mama could never frame it like that. That is beautiful. You are a lovely person, Kimmy, and if I could, take you home to Ristorante and give you a nice, meal of pappardelle maybe and some
It'd be
prosciutto,
delicious.
some bruschetta, something, and my
Yeah.
mama would, you could sit there by the checkered red and white tablecloth and, just have a nice meal with me and my mama. That would be great.
I would love
That'd be
this.
beautiful.
I would
I
love
feel
this.
positive about this.
Yes.
But the UEFA Euro 2020, it's around the corner.
Of course.
And it's going to be going on for, I think, a couple weeks. It's going to be really exciting.
Something like that.
Something along those lines. Let's go around now. I know it might be hard for us, but let's say who's our top two? Who's meeting up in the final? Let's give this one a think. I guess I can go first. I think it's going to be a team from Europe. That's for sure. We know this much. Or what we call Europe, I guess is what I should say. And because this is all a sort of piece of theater, I guess, this UEFA Euro 20, I think they're going to end up making that it's actually 2020 versus 2021 in the final. And we're going to have the literal bridge emerge out of the field in the final. And we're going to have all those alternate reality versions of us crossing over the threshold of that reality into our own. And it's going to be quite a beautiful spectacle. And of course, we will cross over the bridge into their reality. We'll learn so much about what life was like in 2020 for them.
And what teams are going to be on either side of the bridge?
That's sort of irrelevant.
So,
I think it's because it's about the year, the time. I think
Okay, so so they will play on the bridge. Is that the idea?
No. This is sort of like a halftime show.
Oh.
But this is the final. So the game is not relevant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
What I'm saying is that this is all I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be really fun.
I think that's a fair point. If there is this great what do you call it? Some sort of breaking down of time.
That's what I would call it.
Just breaking down of time.
Yes.
And removing all linearity of it.
Exactly.
I guess that's probably going to be the spectacle, and maybe not who actually wins the UEFA this
we all
year.
will
I guess
win.
it's
We're
fair.
we're all
Well,
gonna
I
win.
think
Fair view.
before this happens, I don't want to say that you are false, but I think Italy is going to win. I mean, with great young current players like Francesco Totti, Andrea Pirlo in the midfield, and Roberto Donatoni in defense, and Dino Sof in goal. I mean, how can you lose? I mean, this is a great team.
Yeah, it's amazing just to hear you list out these players.
Of course, I follow football like every other Italian man.
Yes. And what about you, O? Who do you think is going to make it? I mean, my theory aside.
I actually do think Italy's in with a strong chance, and not just because I think you're lovely now that I've met you and all of that, but Italy always brings the greatest stains, to a game. There's
olive oil, oh my God.
the olive oil, the
Tomato
marinara, the
Marinara.
pesto, all of it. So,
Red wine,
Red wine.
Vino Rosso.
the classics, really.
Red wine.
And we've seen recently that Italians are winners, in the other European competitions.
That's true. Eurovision.
They might
Italy.
have been a little bit associated with some of our product from Italy as well at the time.
Right.
Tested negative for Coke, but not for Dazzo.
Is there cocaine in Dazzo?
Oh, I'll never tell.
Well, there was cocaine in Coca-Cola, and only 2 people knew that. So
That's true.
That's right.
That's true. Yes. And
We
you,
need
Kimmy,
Like I said, I'm rooting for everyone. I'm rooting for everyone. I wish everyone
So we
the
sort of
best in
see eye
this
to eye
game.
on this. I think you probably imagine the similar scenario that I'm imagining. I think.
Well, not quite. I guess I'm more on the field and less on the bridge. I'm focusing more on the
Right.
what's going on in the
Yeah.
actual game.
Okay.
But very much so. Yeah, I just wish for all of the players to make it to the final. I just wish for all of them in the final, everyone before in all of the games that they played, to just really recognize what an amazing job it is that they're doing for their countries, for the people watching, and how much joy they're bringing, not only to the people who are watching, but to themselves and to each other.
I think that's really beautiful.
It could be Italy,
So
though.
lovely.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be Italy. Italy's
would
pretty
probably be
good.
Italy.
I think we could probably. I
Yeah.
think it seems like we're saying it here. It's going to be Italy. I think that's what we're
Yeah.
saying here, and it's going to be a beautiful celebration. And Ricardo, I see you.
Yes, I just wanted to thank you for inviting me to the boss.
yeah.
Diana Ross, I will get it close to here. Maybe this is a good camera. Yes, it's Diana Ross, the boss. Everyone listen to this. It's a great track,
Well-
and hire me to play your parties. Hopefully, usually it has never happened that the apocalypse happens at your party. I can't promise that it won't, because it's bound to happen when I'm present. But in all likelihood, it will not happen at your party.
Very good. And so this brings us towards the end of tonight's Pitch UEFA Euro 2020 extravaganza. It's been incredible. We've talked everything. We've talked goals, fouls, substitutions. We've talked a bridge emerging out of the field in the finals, bridging the realities of 2020 and 2021. All the things we look forward to happening. And let's just go around for some closing thoughts. Babs, anything you'd like to let us know? Anything exciting?
Not really. I'd just like you to keep an eye out for Dazzo, and keep in mind that we still have the right stuff for your white stuff.
Very good. And Kimmy?
I'd just like to share a fourth acronym just to close out this night. It's
That's the rule of 4, of course. Comedy.
yes, of course. It's TASP.
TASP, a little different
TASP.
than the other one. Not too different.
Yeah, it's thoughts always
Spicy.
but sing.
Wow. Thoughts always sing.
It's a little curveball there. Thoughts always sing proud.
Thoughts always
sing
sing
proud.
I really
So,
thought there was going to be
embrace them.
positivity there, but
No, it's
I
just
thought
proud.
paprika,
Yeah,
maybe.
And this was a Eurovision song that you submitted as well, wasn't it?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a career.
and you did the test positive for gruel, so they wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah, I was not allowed
Not
to.
on the legal list for Eurovision
Yeah.
gruel.
Unfortunately.
There's
Yeah,
there's so many different variants of gruel out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you give us a little taste of that song, maybe?
Of thoughts. Thoughts always
sing proud.
sing proud. Yeah. Is this the camera? Is this one? Right
Yeah,
here?
you're right.
This-
You're right down there in the middle.
Thoughts always sing proud. Memory with you and me. Thoughts always sing proud. Memory, positivity.
Wow.
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't sung that in such a long time. That's
That
really
is
been
so
a-
Ricardo, maybe you
I
can
have to
throw
say
that
that-
track on one of your next.
I will, and I just want to thank you for inviting me to be one of your talking heads
Very
tonight.
good.
It's
Very good.
I don't know
very
yet this
clever.
camera properly. Yes, and I have to say, personally to Kimmy, it would be nice if you could, get closer to me, Valeridore, and
Ricardo.
I don't want to be too forward, but maybe we could do something scandalous using our
Wow.
imagination. It's,
Wow.
Sorry, I'm usually not this forward. Usually I'm worried.
Well, you invite
that-
me to the ristorante, and then we'll see.
Yeah, I'm usually worried that during sex the Antichrist will spring forth from my penis. It's something that I worry about.
But what did I say? What did I say earlier?
It's something that I can be proud of.
It's something you can be proud of.
Only I can make that happen.
Yeah.
It's true.
Special to me.
Yeah.
Well, this brings us to the end of the Pitch UEFA Euro 2020 extravaganza, live streamed at the Berlin Open Stage Show on the Comedy Cafe Berlin live streams. Thank you to everyone who's been watching We have a couple people to thank for this. We have to thank Amanda King and Sarah Neary, and we have to thank Michelle Guido on the tech. Thank you very much, everybody who was part of this or put this show together. Tripper and Steindor as well for being the hosts of the great show and having me back once again. And I just want to say, just remember that under Earth, we will find answers. And just never forget that every time you are tuning into the UEFA Euro 2020. And I'll see you the next time I see you in the year 2020.